Hey, it's Dr. Taunya Lowe, and I wanted to share a story with you. I'm sitting here at my desk doing some work, making some videos, preparing for some of the events that we have coming up. And I was just sitting here thinking about how life can change very quickly. And I was reminiscing about just 1 year ago. 1 year ago this month, I got a call from my doctor's office. I just had my physical, and they asked me to come in. They just got my test results back, and they wanted me to come in so that they could talk with me about my test results. And as you can imagine, I was nervous. I was scared because I'd never gotten a call to come back in to talk about my test results. I thought, is it my cholesterol? Couldn't they just mail that to me? Was my blood pressure high? Couldn't they just tell me that on the phone? Am I a little overweight? Can you just send me a note? But no, they said, we need you to come back in to the office. And so I did. Scheduled a time to go back into the office to talk about my test results. So as you can imagine, I was nervous, I was anxious, but I went forward with the visit. And so I'm sitting down with the doctor and he's going over some stuff and I'm like, hey man, just kind of get to the getting to. He wants to tell me all the good stuff, what's good, and before he gets to the other stuff. And I'm like, no. Get to what you had me take off from my busy day to come in here. Get to what, kept me up all night. Get to that part. And so he says, Miss Lowe, your blood count is very low. It's actually lower than it's ever been. I didn't know what that really meant. At least I didn't think I knew what it meant. And he said, because your blood count is low, your platelet count is low as well. And I think you need to follow up with another doctor to kind of look at what's going on and make some decisions. And I said, okay. And so I sat there for a while, trying to intellectualize it, get an understanding of what all the numbers mean. When you say low, how low is low? My blood count that day was an 8.2. And my cousin told me that the hospital where she worked, if it had been an 8.0, they would have had to give me blood. So it was pretty low. So I came home that day. I followed up with the other practitioner, and we talked about options and different things. And over a period of maybe 4 months, I went back and forth about what should I do? What should I do? And I remember the day that I made an I decided decision. And the I decided decision was the decision that was going to save my life. I didn't know it at the time, but I knew that I couldn't be on iron forever, that I had to not continue losing blood at the massive amounts I was losing it. And I knew that I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision. If something were to change, I had to change it. And so I did. And so 6 weeks ago, I had surgery to stop the bleeding forever. 6 weeks ago, I had a hysterectomy, and this is what they removed. So you may not really be able to tell what it is from the picture, but this is a uterus. It used to belong to me. And so the normal size of a uterus is about the size of your fist. My uterus was the size of a full-term pregnancy. I went into surgery thinking I had 5 fibroids. I came out of surgery finding out I had more than 30. And so as I sat there and I looked at the picture that the doctor showed me, I was overwhelmed and I really was speechless because I didn't know. And even though we'd run tests, they, done different things, I didn't have the symptoms that most people have. If someone had asked me, was I having symptoms? I would have said no until that day that my lab report came back. And so I had to make an I decided decision to stop the bleeding. And guess what? Some of you need to make an I decided decision to stop the bleeding as well. See, my bleeding consisted of 30 little monsters eating up the inside of my body. But your bleeding may be from a job that you hate. It may be you're living a life that isn't the life you thought you'd have for yourself. Your bleeding may be not finishing what you start. Your bleeding may be relationships with people that are no longer serving you and you don't know how to get out because you don't really see the symptoms. You don't see the problem, or you keep moving in spite of. I can remember my doctor saying, "Aren't you tired?" It's like, I don't think so. And it wasn't until later on that I realized, oh my God, I'm not just tired, I'm exhausted. I couldn't get through the day without taking a nap. So glad that I worked for myself. And I just thought I was tired because I was working so much. Some of you don't realize because you don't have all the symptoms, but your hair may be falling out. You may be gaining weight. You may be losing weight because you're not happy. You're not happy with your life as it is today. You're not happy with the decisions that you've made, and you're not happy with your job, your business, your career. And you want to change it, but you don't know how. And you look at this, you look at that, and so many things come across your desk and they go across your email. And you say, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. Maybe someday. But why not today? Why not decide to really decide to make an I decided decision like I did? I had to make an I decided decision to save my life. You have to make an I decided decision to save your life. Because see, it's all about the quality of life. Do you want to make some changes and some shifts in your life so that your life becomes unrecognizable when you commit to it and you make an I decided decision not to be paralyzed by fear, not to stand in the muck of stuckness, not to just sit and watch the days on the calendar roll and roll and roll and roll by like a tumbleweed? It's time to make an I decided decision. It's time to take charge of your life. It's time to stop asking for permission. It's time to show up. It's time to stand firm in who you are and what you need to do for you. Just like I did. I made that decision because guess what, guys? I didn't even know that I didn't feel well. I didn't know I didn't feel well until after the surgery, and I thought, oh my God, I feel great. I didn't know. But you know you hate your job. You know that you're secretly hoping that they'll fire you, that you're secretly hoping you'll get laid off. But even though you hate your job, you're afraid of that, but you don't even have the courage to leave. What will I do? You'll follow your dream. You'll follow your passion. You'll start a riot. You'll start a riot because the world needs the riot that you're holding on to in your fear, in the area that you're so afraid to shine in. Come on, start that riot. Make an I decided decision. Let the monsters go. Stop the bleeding. Stop the bleeding. Let the monsters go. And walk into your amazing. Walk into your destiny. Start anew. And so I share this story with you because somebody needs to hear it. Now, there's somebody who needs to make an I decided decision about their health. Okay? This story just isn't about my surgery. It's about making an I decided decision. And if you need to make an I decided decision about your health, I beg you to go ahead and do that. Don't wait. Do it. Get it done. But if you need to make a I decided decision about your life, then you need to get that done as well. I don't know what to do. Call me. I help people start riots for their life, their business, and their career every day. Call me. Schedule a strategy session. Come to the symposium where you can sit down with thought leaders so that we can walk you through it. Get into a community. Find us on Facebook, Riot Starter Nation. Join us. Find out what you need to do to make that I decided decision, and then let us support you. Let us walk with you. Let us celebrate your healing. Let us do that with you. Why? Because the world needs more riot starters. Because quite honestly, we've got enough average, mediocre people. We really do. I said it. Yeah. We have enough average, mediocre people who don't mind a bleed out. They don't mind. They don't mind the monsters being there. They don't mind because they've gotten so used to complaining about the job they hate, complaining about the relationship they don't want to be in, complaining about they never do anything because they're stuck and they're never going to do anything. 90% of the world is stuck inside the comfort zone. And it's really not that comfortable. But there's beauty and excitement and opportunity and increase and abundance outside of the comfort zone. Make an I decided decision to step outside of the comfort zone. Is it going to be easy? No. Is it going to be scary? Yes. Is it going to take some time? Yes. Can you do it? You betcha. You can do it because you were made for this. You were born for this. Because one day will be too late. Do you want your dreams, your goals, and your riot to be buried in the cemetery? I tell folks the cemetery is such fertile ground. I wonder how many goals and dreams are buried there. Will yours? Will your dreams be buried in the cemetery? Or will you take advantage of the time you have now? Will you stop the bleeding? Will you get rid of the monsters that are growing inside your head because you can't sleep at night, the monsters that are growing inside your heart because it needs to be healed, for the monsters that are on your back because you hate your job, the monster that is keeping you starting over and over and over again because you don't know how to stay started. Stop the bleeding. Get into a community, get a coach consultant, and get into a program. I'd love to help you. So that's my story. That's my soapbox. I wanted to share that with you because, like I said, some of you need to stop the bleeding. Some of you need to get the monsters out. You need to drop those pounds so that you can move swiftly, quickly as you're walking into your destiny, running into your destiny. So that's it. I gotta go. I hope you have an amazing rest of the year, an amazing life, and an amazing riot.